What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, listen. As kids, you know, we all was kids once. We all did some of the craziest stuff that could have got us hurt or possibly killed. But a lot of stuff you see children doing now, whether they're out there committing violence and, you know, doing crazy stuff or just doing stuff that's unlawful, they don't understand the magnitude of how they put their lives on the line when doing crazy stuff, just in pursuit of fun. Today I want to talk about a story I seen yesterday I meant to do, but I got caught up in other stories. This story's out of Queens, New York. And it's involving subway surfing, which most people should know what subway surfing is. Subway surfing is when you ride on top of the subway car, a lot of times standing up and acting like you're surfing while the train is going down the track from stop to stop, which is incredibly dangerous. You know, when we were younger, like my experience with something dangerous would probably be like jumping off the roof of a house on a stack of mattresses or something on the ground, which was still idiotic. But I mean, this right here is crazy because two girls lost it. Well, one girl lost her life, a 13-year-old, and a 12-year-old is critically injured when they fell between the train cars on a moving train. It's upsetting, and it could have been avoidable. Here's the story.
A 13-year-old girl is dead and a 12-year-old is fighting for her life this afternoon after yet another subway surfing tragedy.
The girls were on top of a 7 train in Queens as it was moving along when they fell between the cars at the 111th Street station. This is the 6th subway surfing death so far this year. That compares to 5 deaths at the same point last year.
So what are the MTA and the NYPD doing to try and prevent future tragedies? Eyewitness News reporter NJ Burke is live in Brownsville with Bellaire TX.
Yeah, right, Liz, we are beneath the elevated line here in Brooklyn. You know, the dangers and the risks of subway surfing would seem obvious, not to mention the horrific death it must be. But in just the past week, 2 young people have been killed and a third remains in critical condition late this afternoon.
Did you see them fall?
No, I just heard the sounds. Sad sound effects.
Kaye Boyd can't get the screams out of his head. He was on the 7 train platform when the girls tumbled off the moving train. He didn't see it, but he heard it.
They're coming into the station and this pat, scream, that's it. Sadly.
A 13-year-old girl was killed. Her friend, just 12 years old, was listed in critical condition late this afternoon. Witnesses told police they were riding on top of a Manhattan-bound 7 train shortly before 11 o'clock last night. But this morning, less than 12 hours after the accident, witnesses saw other young people doing exactly the same thing in exactly the same place, with no obvious police presence to deter them or to stop them. Police commanders insist that enforcement has been stepped up. Surveillance teams are using drones along certain elevated lines that are popular with subway surfers. But a 13-year-old boy was killed just last week. The NYPD's newly appointed transit chief told MTA board members the department is committed to stopping it.
We have a drone program that is on that J line, on that 7 line where we predominantly see it. We're hitting social media hard. We're putting out videos with parents. We're showing the effects that this has on it.
Some MTA board members are calling for more effective outreach, in addition to better enforcement.
You feel invulnerable at this time in your life, that nothing can happen, that every adventure will always end happily. And we have to have people who they respect and listen to and are in their world, telling them, no, this is not the way. There are other ways to validate yourself.
Well, Mayor Adams posted on social media today that these latest incidents of subway surfing have left him, quote, heartbroken. He's repeating his call on social media companies to censor videos that contain subway surfing. Live in Brownsville, Brooklyn, NJ Burke at Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
The second night this week, we are speaking to a devastated family who lost a child to subway surfing. Crystal Romero and her friend fell off the top of a 7 train in Queens. And tonight, her cousin, who admits to subway surfing in the past as well, vowing she will never do it again.
Yeah, Pick 7's Anthony DiLorenzo spoke with them exclusively tonight. I know, Anthony, they're hoping that this message helps to save a life.
And aside from the 2 families I spoke to this week, there is a third now keeping vigil by the hospital bedside of a 12-year-old whose sources tell me likely will not survive. And each one of these tragedies was completely preventable. We sat down with Crystal Romero's mom and stepdad in the 13-year-old's bedroom, her mother struggling to find the words after her only daughter was killed subway surfing this week.
It's broke the family.
Maria Romero tried everything to stop her daughter after finding videos of the teen riding on top of subway cars and, through a translator, imploring other kids.
Kids, listen to your parents. This is not a game.
Romero and her 12-year-old friend went subway surfing Sunday night and were run over by the 7 train. Her cousin Judith, who was more like a sister, says she decided to stay home.
I'd done it before with them.
And why didn't you do it that night?
Because I didn't want to go out.
The 8th grader admitted she too has done the death-defying stunt, but this has scared her straight. Why do kids do it?
I don't know, to be honest. They just find it fun. They think like it's a fun thing to do in life.
Do you think it's fun now?
No. It's like really stupid.
It's gotten to the point where the MTA's warnings aren't enough. 6 people have died this year, including a 13-year-old boy last week. Along with the MTA's PSAs, teachers are talking to their students.
There is a role that the Department of Education can play in making sure that principals are also sending this message out strongly.
And the NYPD has increased enforcement and arrests. But the Romero family says their pain should send the loudest message.
You're not gonna hurt, you're gonna die. But listen to your mom. Look the pain.
Like, I miss her laughs, her hugs. Like the way how she used to talk to me. Like I miss her so much.
And we hope this has a profound effect for any child who's watching that is thinking about doing this. The MTA says whenever it sees a subway surfing video posted to social media, they flag the platform to remove it. And typically the companies, they say, are responsive. We hear the city is planning a new safety blitz in the wake of this rising tide of subway surfing tragedies we have seen this past month alone. Back to you.
Just awful. Yeah. Let's hope these kids heed the warning. Thank you, Anthony.
Okay, guys, you've seen that. And you don't want to see kids get hurt. But I mean, dumb is dumb. Seriously. People get caught on these phases. They see other kids do stuff. They want to be a part of it, no matter how dangerous it is. And the outcome is sometimes like it is. And it's upsetting. It is. Family in there talking. But I want to say something real quick. I don't know when this was because it said a couple of days ago. So what was this, Sunday night this happened? Or Monday night? Either way, 11 o'clock at night, a 12-year-old shouldn't be out there at 11 o'clock, especially if it's a school night or leading up to a school night. I don't understand the situation. You know, Queens, New York is no joke, and shout out to Queens, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, come on. Hear the little girl? Because that was the family, the 13-year-old that died. Little girl say, I ain't feel like going out that night when they went and did it. So they left the house willingly and I guess was allowed. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. They said on social media now they blocking that stuff to stop encouraging other kids from doing it. In the first video I showed you, did you see the guy sitting backwards on the train just sitting there? Anything can be over top of your head and you don't see it. Then the one dude standing up doing like this, he was the one that died in the video that they were showing you earlier. When they said a young man died last week, that was him sitting up there with his feet shoulder width apart while the wind is blowing on him, trying to keep his balance. You fall off that train, that's a hell of a drop to that floor off of that elevation. Kids don't think. And it's heartbreaking that they have to lose their lives. And like after they lose their lives, other kids keep doing it. The thirst for attention to be accepted is a hell of a drug, man, for real. I mean, this is a horrible trend. This is my thing with this. Besides this being one of the stupidest things I've ever heard to do, when I was younger, I already knew I would not do that. I'm like, nah, that's crazy. I ain't doing that. No matter who I was with, hey man, let's do that. I mean, it wasn't like that when I was younger, but I already knew, hell no. Number one, it's a risk of getting caught by the cops. And I'm not running somewhere to get caught and then have to go back to my parents, dropped off by police or caught and having to get that call, or your son got in trouble, or your son locked up because he did some crazy stuff. I didn't want to see my parents' face. I think a lot of this comes down to parenting nowadays too. I think a lot of parents have lost control outside of the home with the negative influences and how, you know, who their children's around. I think parents don't vet the friends of their children anymore. But either way, man, this is a tragedy. Said they fell between the cars. A train is an unyielding force. It's not going to stop. I don't know if you ever seen videos where people got ran over by trains or hit. It's a gruesome experience. Once you see it, you'll never forget it. And once you go through it, you'll never get a chance to fix yourself, because once it's done, it's done. You ain't no recouping that. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. This young lady both of them learned lessons they'll never recover and be able to fix. I want you to just think about that. If you're a young person out there, just because something look fun don't mean it won't cost you your life or it's the right thing to do. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.